All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys today about one of the most used and probably most talked about supplement in today's world. Can anybody have a guess or a gander of what I could be talking about here? And no, Jacob, it's not Miralax.
Creatine.
What'd you say?
Creatine.
Yeah, there you go. Creatine is a big one. I think it's widely misunderstood by the population, like outside of the gym. And I'm sure that you probably have all seen the memes, talking about the moms asking their kids, are you taking steroids? Are you taking creatine? It's very misunderstood of actually what it is and what it does in a sense. So, as you all know, it is not a steroid, but let's dive into what it actually is and what kind that you should be taking and the doses and things like that. And a lot of this might sound very elementary to you guys, but a lot of people honestly don't even have a clue of what creatine is in its simple form. So I thought it was pretty relevant to talk about today. So first off, what is creatine? Creatine is a naturally occurring compound that is found in small amounts of food, like red meat, fish, animal milk, cow milk, goat milk, things like that. And so about half of your body's daily supply of creatine, like 1 to 2 ish grams, comes from your diet, from eating whole, healthy foods, and that's assuming that you eat decently and that you eat clean and that you eat plenty of protein, right? Um, and then your body produces the other half naturally from your liver, kidneys, and your pancreas, and they deliver about 95% of that creatine to your skeletal muscles during physical activity. So when you're in the gym, working out, contracting, that is when that delivery process happens. And the rest goes to your heart, your brain, and other tissues like that too. And now this stored energy is going to be used during, high intensity exercise, short duration activities like sprinting and running and things like that. But mainly it's going to give us the energy that we need to push through those lifts. And it's definitely beneficial for us to supplement with creatine if we can. And creatine is going to be it's very popular in the fitness realm, and it boils down to its ability to increase strength, muscle mass, and exercise performance. And the good thing is it's one of the most researched things out there. There's probably not a supplement on the market when it comes to performance wise or just fitness in general that has been studied as much as creatine has. Um, and so if we look at the benefits of creatine, you guys could probably all name these off relatively easily, but obviously increased muscle strength and power, enhanced muscle growth. And one big thing about the muscle growth is so it actually draws water into the muscle cells and improves protein synthesis, which is going to create a good, healthy environment to support that muscle hypertrophy. Improved recovery. There are some cognitive benefits as well too. There are some studies that showed that it may enhance brain function, memory, and mental clarity. And then induce performance and endurance, especially if you're into long distance running, things like that. It can definitely help in reducing that fatigue as well too. And so different types of creatine. There's like eight, nine, 10 of them. There probably will be another one made tomorrow. I mean, there's a ton of different creatines out there, but I really think that there's two that we really should focus on. Number one is creatine monohydrate, and then number two is creatine hydrochloride or creatine HCl for short. Now, the monohydrate version is going to be the most researched and widely used form, and it consists of a creatine molecule bonded to a water molecule. Pretty much what it boils down to is it is a highly effective, safe, and is very cost efficient. So if we just kind of roll that right into the pros for creatine monohydrate, it's the most researched form. We know the most about creatine monohydrate. As far as the other ones go, there's not as much research done on them, and it's fairly inexpensive. I mean, I have a little tub of creatine in the pantry that I've had for God, it seems like 6 months, and it's like 20 or $30. I mean, if you're just taking 5 grams a day, it's going to last you a pretty good while. It's got a pretty high absorption rate. And then it's proven to increase, obviously strength and muscle mass as well too. And now some cons, which one of these is kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back, if you want to put it that way, for a lot of people. And one of that is minor digestive discomfort. So, like, some people can take creatine monohydrate and be fine, no issues with digestive systems at all. But some people take it and they experience pretty severe digestive issues like diarrhea, loose stool, things like that. And if you are that person, then the next form of creatine, HCl, is probably going to be the one that you need to take. And then one more con for creatine monohydrate is water retention. Now, there's a lot of confusion about what that actual water retention is. It good or bad? And even a lot of people question, should I take creatine during a prep during peak week and I'm trying to shed water, and creatine monohydrate, you know, will it make you hold water, right? Well, even me, the day of my show at Nationals, I was taking creatine. I mean, it's going to hold muscle inside of the cells, right? So if you do things right, obviously there's a lot more that goes into it than just can you take your creatine or not. But it can be done. A lot of coaches will just tell you to just pull it completely out, and I think that's dumb. I mean, if you've been using it for weeks and weeks and weeks in advance, and you have the look that you want, but for some reason the day of your show, let's just not take it. To me, that's dumb, right? If we're waking up and we're having the look that we want to have, and this is just talking about show day, right? If you're a competitor, keep it in. It's definitely not hurting anything. Um, and then we move into the second form, which is creatine HCl. It's bonded with a hydrochloric acid, which is going to increase its solubility in water. So if you've ever mixed up creatine monohydrate in water, you can tell that it's not the best at dissolving in water, right? There's a lot of little chunks in there. It looks like grains of salt just sitting in the bottom of the shaker cup, and that's where creatine HCl kind of shines. This form is marketed to having better absorption rate, and fewer side effects, and that's pretty much what they put on the labels on creatine HCl, and that's kind of how they sell it. Um, obviously one of the pros is higher solubility in water. It makes it just easier to mix up. Um, Supposedly, you can take a lower dose, since it has better absorption. I don't know how true that is. I'm sure that it is true, but if we're talking about 3 grams to 5 grams, and really, like, what's the difference there, right? Like, not a ton. And then it obviously reduced the risk of bloating and water retention, which plays into the digestive issues as well too. Um, it is more expensive than creatine monohydrate. I couldn't tell you how much HCl costs. I don't use it. I don't really know a lot of people that do use it. But there are some. I think it's maybe $40 for like maybe a month's supply, somewhere in there. So it is fairly expensive if you compare it to monohydrates, but um, it's also less research than monohydrate as well too. So now my preference over the two is all day long going to be creatine monohydrate, except when it causes gut issues. So then HCl would be the one that I would recommend if you take creatine monohydrate and you have digestive issues, any kind of troubles there, for sure. Swap over to HCl. Now, as far as how to take creatine, especially with, if we're talking about just monohydrate here, they want you to do something called a loading phase, which is optional. I've done it one time, like my very first time ever taking creatine, because I was on the bodybuilding.com articles and wanted to make sure that I was doing this the right way, right? Because I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to take creatine or not. But so what they're saying is, for like the first week or so, take 20 grams a day, and this should be split over 4 doses. So, like, 5 grams morning, 5 grams mid morning, 5 grams mid afternoon, 5 grams before bed, right? So 20 grams total, spread out across the day. Pretty much this is just saying that you're going to be saturating your body with creatine, right? And then once you get that full saturation level, then you're pretty much just maintaining it. 3 to 5 grams a day. I recommend at least 5 to 10 daily, even on your rest days, and that's important too. Because if you don't take it on your rest days, then you're kind of falling below that maintenance, kind of threshold, and you want to keep that up. So take it every single day, even on your rest days. And then as far as the best time to take it, it doesn't really matter. I prefer to take it around my training. Either that's in an intra-workout shake or a post-workout meal that I'm going to be eating because it's going to have a ton of carbohydrates with it, which will help with better absorption as well too. But again, timing is not critical. As long as you take it some point during the day, that's all that matters. And then the big question for a lot of moms out there, is it healthy to take creatine, right? Can my 18-year-old son take creatine? Yeah, sure. Like there's, no real issue with taking creatine. There's just not a ton of evidence to support taking it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. You have diabetes, kidney disease, liver disease, obviously health issues like that. You should probably talk to a doctor first before you take creatine. And then again, on the backside, right? How much does that doctor know what actually creatine does, the side effects, the bad stuff about it. So again, it's just kind of up to your discretion. I don't know anybody that has ever said that it was bad for them. Obviously if you have kidney and liver disease, it's putting more stress on those organs than probably the benefit, right? But as always, you should probably talk to a healthcare provider for legal reasons, right? I just need to throw that out there before taking anything like that. Um, and then, I mean, really, at the end of the day, you all should be taking creatine in some form or fashion, whether that's monohydrate, HCl. There's 8 or 9 other different ones. There is one, I think it's called like crackalin or creatine, Cralyn, Krylin or something. But I think that's like maybe like the third most popular one or whatever. And you'll see, online there's um, different claims that it does X, Y, Z, and this, that, and the third. But for me, just getting the flavored creatine monohydrate is the best way to go. Because if you look on like Amazon or something, you're going to find the fruit punch flavored creatine, right? And it's going to have 20 different other ingredients in there as well too. And you're probably going to be paying 30 or $40 for a 1 month supply. Um, why not just buy the plain flavored monohydrate and then just, add it to a shake or something where you can't taste it, right? Just trying to be cost effective, I guess is the best way to put it. But outside of that, I know it's a pretty basic topic, but does anybody have any questions about creatine or just questions in general?
Do you have a preference over like pill form versus like powder form?
I like
And
powder.
that like powder. Okay.
Yeah. Just because, I mean, I know the capsules will for sure, break down and digest in your stomach. But again,
Yeah.
monohydrate already isn't as good as isn't as good on the absorption side as HCl is. So if you're putting it in the pill form, it has to dissolve through that gelacious pill first. Um, so why not just take a powder?
Yeah.
That's kind of the way that I see it now. I think I have done the pills a long, long time ago. Um, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's just my preference. I
Yeah.
guess. So
No, what you said about the dissolving of the pills makes sense because I've been doing that for a while and I've thought about switching it up to the powder, but
yeah,
just haven't.
it was funny the other day. I think it was a caffeine pill or something, and I was kind of sleepy, and I wanted to take half of that before I went to the gym, but I wanted to mix it inside of my drink. So I took the capsule, split it open, had the powder inside of each capsule, and dumped half of it into my drink, and then I just threw the other half away. And then I was like, I wonder how long it would take to dissolve this little gelacious pill inside a thing of water, right? And I got a little cup of water, put the pill in there, and I forgot about it. In like 7 or 8 hours, I come back and I touched it, and it was like still in like peel form, right? So to me, it's like that's just another barrier it has to get through to get into
Yeah.
your body, right? So just I like the powder the best. So anybody else got any questions about creatine or anything for that matter? I know Jacob mentioned Miralax earlier, but I don't think everybody should be taking Miralax on a daily unless you got issues like that. But if no more questions, then I'll let you guys go early today, I guess. I know it was kind of Amazon guys here, I guess, for the wife. The dog that started barking. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll let you guys go. I know it was a very short, simple, to the point topic, but creatine is pretty misunderstood, I would say. So, thought it would be relevant, and especially for the people who didn't attend, they'll be able to rewatch it. So, but anyway, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll be seeing the majority of you in check-ins tomorrow, and some of you for check-ins today. So, if you guys got any questions, just let me know. And I appreciate you guys showing up. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.